Well, I finally accomplished some things on this crazy contraption I'm trying to build here. Most of you probably don't know. I'm trying to build a sort of a passive preamp for an audio system that will support up to probably maybe 4 to 8 different inputs, and have you be able to switch inputs. Also have a spectrum analyzer, potentially a passive EQ, volume knob, all controllable over the web using an app on Android, iOS, or whatever. Today, we end up with version 0.0.2 of the firmware. This is my Git repository, and right now we look at this board. This is a PIC microcontroller. It is a PIC32MZ EF. It's got the actual coprocessor on it. It's one of their high-end units, and this is on an Explorer 1632 board. And right now, what you're seeing here in these LEDs is a fake sort of spectrum analyzer kind of view. There's just random numbers being thrown at this routine, and it is displaying those numbers, and it's updating about once every 100 milliseconds. There's a pot right here. If I start to move this, I will then start to increase the volume of the system and then lower it down. If I pick a volume and let it go, eventually the spectrum analyzer will come back and start operating. And that pot is sampled by the onboard A to D converter from microchip that's built right onto the CPU, or onto the MCU. And if we start to press these buttons, if I press, let's say, right now it's defaulted to input 1, which is over here. If I go to input 2, it then displays it as an LED. And once a dwell time is expired, it goes back to the equalizer. And I can continue to press these. And when I'm pressing these, a relay is switching over. A relay pair. And on these relay pairs, there are going to be connected a bunch of these RCA phono jacks, gold-plated, and those will connect up to whatever source is upstream from this device. And in general, we're calling this thing the DAC switcher. So you can imagine having maybe 1, 2, or 3 different kinds of DACs, and then being able to audition different DACs by just changing an input. Eventually, we might have an LED matrix like this sitting on there, displaying that spectrum analyzer view across here. So this is I think it's a 10 by 32. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it looks like 10 by 40. Yeah, so we got 10 by 40. So we'll have plenty of spectrum analyzer buckets that we can display here. And also, when that volume changes, we'll either have some kind of a volume indicator or some kind of way of indicating input. I have been looking at this display, which is just an amazing looking display. I think this one was $6. I can't physically make it for that. The chips alone, just to drive the LEDs, are more than that. I don't remember what this one was. It wasn't a lot of money. I just instantly bought it. This one's like 32 by 64 in a matrix, and the nice thing about these LEDs is they're RGB LEDs. They can be, each one can be changed color. So I'm looking at these two displays, and of course I've got some TFTP displays or TFT displays coming in various different sizes, just to kind of mess with. But this I2C input switcher is running, and it talks via I2C. This is the clock and data wires. Comes on over. You can ignore this. This guy's disconnected. Comes over here to this MCP23017 chip, and we've got 3 inputs on it right now. Eventually, what will end up happening is we'll have a bus that all the outputs will go onto, and then we'll peel off and use one of the, we'll send the audio, buffer the audio going to the spectrum analyzer, and then look at doing some stages with the EQs. My new spectrum analyzer, my new let me see if I can get this out of the way here. My new scope, that's the I2C protocol being displayed there. Finally got that working, and it's working pretty good. I'm very happy with this scope. The 4 inputs at 100 megahertz with serial decoding, and I'm finally starting to understand it. So, well, until next time, that's the end of this video.